Aquarius, the message I have for you today might initially sound like it's not for you or it doesn't resonate, but try to stick with it for a little bit and see if it unfolds into a message that is of use to you. Because I already started your message and the energy was flowing. There was lots of information coming through. The next 6 months are going to be intense. There's some kind of red carpet being unrolled for you, metaphorically or literally even. This is notoriety and recognition you're going to gain with people around you, but also in the spirit realm. There's something about your body and your system settling into a more alkaline state is what I was getting. And then the other message that came through was if there's things around your house that you could easily fix, that need fixing, make sure you do that. Such as if things need new batteries, put new batteries in the devices. Otherwise, you're kind of sending out this message to the universe and to your subconscious mind that there's inoperable things in your environment and you could fix them, you could make them work again, but you're just kind of chilling with it being more of a nuisance and an annoyance rather than doing something about it. Okay, so that, I mean, it's very specific. Maybe this is something that will come up in the next 6 months. When something needs fixing, do it. Don't put it off, okay? Just do it quickly. This creates an energy chain reaction. So the card that I got for you, in which your energy went completely silent, is number 14, Savior Complex. So what are you doing right now, Aquarius, where you are trying to help, heal, inform other people, and you feel like the weight of this light that you have to offer and to bring into the world is starting to become overwhelming, or it's weighing you down, or perhaps you don't feel that quite yet, and Spirit is saying you have to balance out your desire to inform and help others with your own needs. This could be in a relationship, could be with a collective of people, at work, in your family. But there's something that you feel called to do, you feel responsible because you can do it. But Spirit's saying there's something a little bit out of balance with this. So let's get another card and see where we go. Now, the complex part of this card, Savior Complex, Spirit is saying when you can't save someone or a situation or bring people on board or inform people, then you could take it personal, okay? Or you could feel like a failure of some sort. But you can't control what other people are going to do or how they're going to receive certain information. So let's see, what do we need to talk about with this Savior Complex? Undertaking. Wow. What are you doing? A big undertaking, trying to save some souls, or a soul in particular. I'm going to actually look in the book and see what they say about Savior Complex, and then we'll pull some more cards out, because I feel like this is very important that we understand exactly what Spirit's getting at. This card indicates that to your own detriment, you are drowning in empathy. By analyzing the other cards in the spread, you will be able to discern the consequences of this or how to work on this point. In association with self-realization, this card will be a sign that you are a victim of this complex because of a lack of self-esteem. Through helping another person, you are looking for recognition. What is it that you're trying to be recognized for? I feel like what it is, Aquarius, is that throughout your life, you have soldiered through many great undertakings. Taking charge, being the lead, being the mediator, being the go-getter, being the solution provider, maybe even the money maker or the peacekeeper, or the inventor, or whatever it is. You've taken great undertakings where the responsibility should have been shared with others. And oftentimes, in those undertakings in the past, you didn't get the recognition that you deserve. For some of you, you did a lot when you were younger, in your younger years, to help other people, or to be the glue, maybe in a family dynamic or in a relationship. And nobody really acknowledged your significance in doing that or thanked you. And so now I feel whatever it is that you're thinking about, something you want to help, something you want to so-called save or inform. I'm also getting some of you really want to deliver information. There's a kind of shadow drive behind it, which is okay. It's totally cool. There's a shadow drive behind it that is seeking recognition in you delivering this information or helping out somebody. And Spirit just wants to call your attention to that, because if this help that you're offering, or this guidance, or this healing, or this information, or this love that you're providing isn't reciprocated or isn't recognized, then it might trigger a deeper wound in you. Some of you are in a kind of one-sided, maybe relationship or friendship or work situation, and this lack of recognition is really bothering you. Okay, and I think, it would bother most people, but it's going deeper for you because of the undertakings you've done in the past. And I'm taking this card, undertaking, as the things you've done in the past, because it's number 13, and number 14 is where we are now. Now, number 13 in the tarot is the Death card, and number 14 is Temperance. So both of these cards, in correspondence to the tarot, are about transmutation of energy, which is something that you are very good at. But you can't transmute and transform somebody else's energy for them. You can lead a horse to water, right? But you can't make them drink. And for some of you, that's the case. It's like, look at all I have. Look at all the evidence. Look at all the information. Look at my heart I'm putting on the table. Look at it, like it's all here, and somebody's not responsive to it. Okay, and Spirit wants you to heal some of this, what do I say? Disregard. Like it's a wound of being disregarded. To heal some of that wound going forward, because the next 6 months, as I'm feeling it just intuitively, it'll feel really exciting with this red carpet rolling out. Maybe that is why you're stepping on the red carpet in the next 6 months, is because you will have worked through some of these deeper issues, They're not really issues. It's just life and it's soul lessons. Okay? But Spirit does want you to acknowledge that you have done a lot in the past, and you have put things back together. You have fixed a lot of issues for people and for yourself. You have provided solutions, but you can't keep going forward trying to do that at the expense of yourself. And again, the reason why you might be doing this at the expense of yourself is because there's that wound somewhere in there that wants to be seen, that wants to be recognized for all your undertakings, for all you've done. Okay, so that's what's driving it, as the cards are showing me and as I'm feeling it. So let's get some more energy out here and see what's going on. Aquarius. I was going to do the signs in order, but your energy was really calling out. So someone must really need this message. And if it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. I mean, no worries. This is kind of one of the more difficult readings anyway, except for the red carpet part. So let's see. The energy supporting Aquarius. The energy supporting Aquarius. Infinitesimal. Looking within the cellular level. Let's see, hold on. Let's see the challenge. Inhale. Inhale fresh energy and exhale old energy. Yeah. Yes, there's a release that's happening right now for you. Spirit is calling you to release a lot of this disappointment that you've experienced. I'm going to get a little bit further. Tell me more about the infinitesimal. Reading. So this is about taking a good look at yourself. Reading into yourself. Maybe you're doing a lot of readings on yourself. Let me just, and I am doing a lot of reading in this reading. Like normally I don't really turn to the books. Do I even have the book here? But I feel called to. Number 32 could be an important number for some of you. Number 32. Microcosm, zoom in, details matter, smallness, and chemistry. The universe is both astronomically large and infinitesimally, hard time saying that word, small. Fully grasping the extreme largeness of space and the extreme smallness of the quantum is difficult. But when we contemplate the scale of either or both, we grow our understanding of our place in the cosmos. Our importance comes from our singular perspective and awareness. Our insignificance comes from the sheer vastness of infinite space. You know, some of you are real warriors, real spiritual warriors. And as strong as you are, and as magical as you are, you can't save it all. You know, you can't change it all. You have to acknowledge that there's something much greater than our own energy and our own wants and desires. There's a plane of energy, a flow space that we're all kind of bopping along in. Okay, so Spirit wants to remind you of that. Now, of course, your perspective and your mental space, especially for you, Aquarius, is incredibly powerful. And it can change circumstances and situations. But there's something about sitting with the awareness that you can't fix everything, nor should you fix everything or solve everything. That will free you. Okay, so zoom in, details zoom in, details matter, smallness and chemistry with reading. Do a close reading on your life and on yourself and how you see yourself. Where does that savior complex show up for you? Let's get one more with the inhale. Inhale. Transcendent with inhale. Some of you are going to have to surrender and know that something is beyond reproach. There's something that you cannot solve or help or somebody because it's not your role to do so. Okay, so let me get into the tarot cards and see what else we get for you, Aquarius. Let's see. For Aquarius. I haven't used this deck, I don't think, on the channel. The Vinder deck. Let's see. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Whoever I'm connecting with today, you have a pure heart, shadow and all. Okay, I don't know exactly what qualifies a pure heart, but that's what I'm hearing. Okay. Yes. Okay. 8 of Pentacles at the bottom. You're working real hard on something to shift a perspective. Maybe it's your own, but it feels like with the savior complex here, well, it could be you're trying to save yourself too. And you need to let the universe do some of that taking care of you. And your guides, if that's your belief, or God or source, or maybe people in your life. You've become a knight in shining armor to yourself, but you can't play both of those roles right now. You don't want anybody's help. You don't need anybody's help. But I feel like you don't need to save yourself either. What do you need saving from? So let's ask that question before I get into the cards. I want to know, what is this that for themselves? What is Aquarius trying to save themselves from? And then I'm going to ask about other people too. What are they trying to save themselves from? 6 of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and Justice. Well, this isn't for all of you, but a 10 of Swords. Yeah, I heard as soon as the 6 of Wands came out was learning the truth. You're trying to save yourself from learning the truth. So it must be some difficult truth that you don't want to look at. That's not for all of you, but let me see. The Hangman, yeah, it's a new perspective that is required around something. Well, what? Why is this so difficult? Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the 8 of Cups. For some of you, this is about love or walking away from someone who you thought had something to offer you. You went deep with this person, or it could be an opportunity of some sort with the Knight of Cups. Somebody coming towards you with the potential for love, joy, creativity, and you dove right down deep into it. I saw the Queen of Cups and she was diving in the card. And then the 8 of Cups, but something was unsettling, something didn't work. It wasn't time, or it wasn't the right energy. 5 of Swords. There was a lack of clear intention when it began, I'm getting. Okay? And so there's a difficult truth about that you're trying to save yourself from seeing. But seeing that clearly, 10 of Swords, is the justice that you deserve. It's the karmic rebalancing that you deserve. Reading closely, details matter into a situation. Look at the details of what went on. Sometimes we forget those over time, and we get swept up in this larger picture or feeling that we had. But we need to remember what actually happened. Okay, and for some of you, if this is not about love, then you could be trying to save yourself from the possibility of somebody else getting away with something. But what Spirit's saying here with the Justice card is, again, this isn't totally up to you. It's a little bit out of your hands. You have to trust the laws of the universe, cause and effect. That the energy will come back. I'm hearing twofold. Okay. Sometimes it's 10, but I heard 2. Okay, twofold. Back to whoever is getting away with something in the way that is meant for it to come back to them. You can't be the hands of justice all the time. You can certainly facilitate it, but the savior complex has me a little bit feeling like this is becoming a difficult path for you. So surrender. Give some over to God, to Spirit, to your guides, to the angels, whatever, to your spirit animals, give some of the energy over. Surrender a little here. Okay, so I want to see now, what are you trying to save someone else from? Or a group of people? You're trying to come in as someone providing answers or solutions. To what? The Magician? A noble cause. High Priestess. Wow. I love this, Aquarius. I'm going to get one more, but so far what I'm seeing is you're trying to open a path, open a door, open a portal for people to see their own potential, to spread awareness that everyone holds the power of manifestation, magic, connection to source consciousness within them. This is you saying, all are one. You are just as powerful as I, And some of you are trying to connect with somebody or a group of people in particular who you see as very intuitive, very skilled, very knowledgeable, in order to create a new paradigm in some context in your life, or just in general, maybe. Maybe you're trying to save them from the wrong path you see them going down. Okay, so let me see. What does Spirit have to say about this? Of course, everybody walks their own path. Everybody has their own karma. And we can choose to get involved with other people's karma, but then it becomes ours too. Two of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. Well, you can only lead the way. Again, the horse with the water, right? You can only lead the way so far before you have to stop at the crossroads and say, this is as far as I can take you. This is as far as I can go. What you do now is your choice, your decision, your karmic path. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, this is you. This is my path over here, and this is yours. So some of you are literal healers, like actual healers, energy healers, spiritual healers. Even if I'm hearing nurse practitioner, even if you're more in the 3D realm healing industry or profession, you still do spiritual healing at a quantum level. But there's only so far you can take someone. And some people's paths end up the way they do for reasons we can't quite comprehend in this lifetime. Okay? Okay. So, transcendent inhale. Let's just pause on that one. Okay, let's get into the cards that came out. 2344, I just saw, could be a number for someone. Ace of Wands. I was going to clarify with these cards, actually. Ace of Wands for your overall energy. This is the torch that lights the way, the savior. Hey, everybody, I got the torch. I got the goods. I got the passion. I got the insight. I got the potential. I got the newness. I got the fire. Your sister sign is Leo, the opposite to you on the wheel. So you are deeply connected to that element, regardless of you being an air sign. And so you have a lot of passion, a lot of ideas, a lot to share. You do have the torch that leads the way. You're not wrong. Okay, so let's see. Tell me about this energy of the Ace of Wands, Spirit. What is this Ace of Wands? Choices and death. Wow, and we talked about this being the death card, right? Undertaking. Well, you have the choice, right? Again, how far do you go down someone else's path? You hold the torch, you light the way for them. But then when they get to the crossroad, to the choice point, do you just hand over your torch and leave yourself in the dark? Or do you say to this person, it's up to you now? Oh, what's that saying by Buddha? Let me see, because it's coming to my mind. I used to have a poster on my apartment wall. 1,000 candles. Let me see. It's so funny. Like, I had it there for years and I can't even remember it now. Maybe that's a message there too. Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Yes. So you can light this person's torch with your own and share your goodwill and send them on their way. But if they choose to blow that candle out, to turn that torch upside down and snuff it out, that Ace of Wands, that's their decision. That's their choice. Okay? I don't know why that quote came up. Yeah, your wisdom is igniting others. And you have a lot of generosity. But you can't force it on anyone, right? They have to want it. They have to want to accept it, is what I'm getting. Ace of Wands, choices and death. There's something else here. Knight of Swords. Look at this card. I love it. It's time to leave something behind. Could be a relationship, could be a job, could be a thought form, could be a worry, could be a fear. Let's see if we can get closer to what this is for you. Eight of Wands. A constant barrage of energy, duty, communication, new information. The Eight of Wands is like constant energy, or a lot of fast-moving energy coming towards you. And look what you're doing. See ya. So there are a lot of people or a lot of things coming towards you that are trying to vie for your attention. I'm hearing your agency for some of you. They want your agency. I don't know, your freedom in some way, your attention. And I feel like they're already in the wand energy. Their candles have already been lit, meaning they've already made their choices. So you don't need to stick around much more. Okay, I don't know what this is about for everyone, but I'm just going to leave that there. We got some more to talk about. Okay. What you don't see coming, the shadow. Yes, of course, the savior complex, the shadow. When I first tried this reading, I was only like a minute in. The savior complex came out. It was like crickets. It's like I couldn't even get a word out. There was nothing to say because the shadow came out as such a surprise so immediately. You know, and there's nothing wrong with the shadow. We all have shadows, right? But when the shadow shows up, and it shows up suddenly and quickly, it can be confronting. And we could just want to leave the information the shadow has to say behind. And it looks like the shadow, your shadow, is presenting you with a very important choice that you need to make. To let something die, to let something go, so that you can start anew with this torch that you have. Yeah. So on one hand, the shadow is manifesting itself as a savior complex. I can help this person. I can change this. I can do all the things I need to do in order to get it right, just the way it should be. And on the other hand, by doing that, the shadow is pushing you further and further into, I don't want to say, well, the word's coming through, a crisis mode or a intense energy where you will be left with nothing but a choice to let something go. So you see what the shadow does. It goes forward and forward and forward with this savior complex, like, let me help you, let me help you, let me help you, until you break, until it's too much. until you can recognize that there is a wound that you're trying to heal. So the sooner we become conscious of our shadow, we can see the tricks that it's up to. We can see what it's doing. Ah, there's me again trying to save this person from their own karma. That's my shadow. Because nobody saved me, and so maybe now I want to save someone else in order to feel like I was saved. Okay, that can be like a projection thing going on. Or I saved so many people in the past and I was never recognized for it. So maybe if I do it this one time now, I'll finally get that recognition and that part of me will feel healed. That's all the shadow's doing here. So let's see. Well, yeah, these cards. Let's see. What is it that Aquarius doesn't see coming about their shadow? Graveyard tree. And it came in reverse. A graveyard tree. Well, it's not a proper burial. Oh, the death card, not a proper burial. Very interesting. So when we bury our dead, we usually put headstones. So maybe there's something that you haven't fully closed, acknowledged in the past, something that needs a proper headstone. There's something here that your shadow doesn't really want to end, doesn't really want it to be over. What is it? Holler. Some place that you've been in. Some in-between place you've been in. Give me one more here, Spirit. What is this? Can I get any further in this? In this energy? Welcome. And it came in reverse too. Well, your shadow really wants you to acknowledge it. It's kind of, how do I explain that? I don't know how to really explain it, but what I want to say is your shadow's in between. It's like in the valley. I don't know. Like what I'm seeing is like there's two peaks here and there's a valley. Oh, maybe that's what the red carpet's for, is your shadow. Rolling out the red shadow in this valley. Rolling out the red shadow. Rolling out, maybe your shadow's red, I don't know, which is the root chakra, which is about safety and security. Rolling out the red carpet for your shadow. There's something here that you thought maybe you buried, but there wasn't a proper burial. You haven't fully resolved it yet, and that's okay. I mean, that's most things. There's layers. It's a spiral, you know, layers and layers. We heal the first layer and then the second layer and the third layer, you know? Or we can think of it going up if we want. Even the layers of the skin heal like that. Okay, so your shadow wants to be acknowledged. Okay, that's cool. I dig that. And you can handle it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having such a sophisticated, mature reading for you. The Ace of Cups for your opportunity. And this is why. Because once you heal that part of you, or even just acknowledge it, like, hey, yeah, there's a part of me that doesn't feel recognized, and now I try to do other things. Collect. I'm hearing corral, collect. I don't know. I try to do other things to bring solutions and answers without really providing it to myself, you know? There's... Let's see, there's what with the Ace of Cups? Delicate matters and signs. I'm getting signs and synchronicities, maybe feathers or flowers you're seeing. Daffodils I'm getting. Yellow flowers. There's something delicate, of course, in the shadow. Okay, I need more. I can't just go off of that. What's the opportunity with the Ace of Cups? Something delicate that they're getting signs about. Queen of Cups, yeah, the deep diver. diving deep to find out what you really feel about something. There's some feelings you've buried. Maybe that's what hasn't gotten the proper burial. There's some feelings that need to be examined a little bit. The Emperor, feelings of losing control, okay, and not having what you need. You do have what you need, and you are in control. But me saying that isn't enough. Ace of Pentacles behind that. There's something for you to find in your own self-discovery. Like, hey, why am I doing this? Why am I putting up with this? Why am I spending so much time and energy on this? Why am I doing another undertaking? Okay, when you ask those questions of yourself and you start exploring, and I mean, you don't have to do it all at once, just ponder on it while you're doing the dishes, The answers you receive are going to give you real insights to puzzles and problems and riddles that you haven't been able to solve. Okay, so the 9 of Cups for the challenge. Well, there's a wish here that you really want. You have a wish for something. Could be seeking some kind of abundance, but I feel like it's a wish, because this looks like the Wheel of Fortune to me too, of some kind of change. And what is this wish about that is presenting a challenge? What is this wish about? Oh, did I say daffodils? I must have seen it subconsciously. Interesting. Sign subconscious. Okay, hold on a second. So there are things definitely in your subconscious that you're picking up. And you're interpreting them as signs, which they are. They are. Okay? It's great, actually, because your shadow lives in the subconscious. So if you're able to pick up the signs, what do I say about that? Oh, beautiful. What do I say about that? 2 of Pentacles. There's an integration happening. It's very interesting too, because when I said you may be seeing daffodils, what popped into my mind was my neighbor's daffodils that I saw the other day. And when, random images and things like that pop into my mind, I take them as a sign or a synchronicity. And then here it is in the card too, which obviously my subconscious mind saw. So you see what I'm saying? It's like your shadow's intuitive. It's picking things up. I don't know how else to say that, but it's important that you honor those signs and synchronicities. Or maybe you're questioning, like, is this really a sign? Is this really intuitive? Is this really psychic? Because it could be this, that, and the other. The real question is, what do those signs and synchronicities do for you? Okay, if they actually lead you to new thoughts and epiphanies and discoveries, then take them as guided from your spirit, from spirit. Okay? The question is not whether is it a sign or synchronicity, but what is it doing for you? Okay? Interesting detour there. Temperance with the 9 of Cups. Well, yeah, the alchemist, the savior complex, number 14. Your wish is to save something, to alchemize something, to transmute something. Why can't I just heal this? Why can't this just get better? Why can't time heal all wounds as well, I'm hearing? Okay, let's see. Tell me more about this. Opening. A wish for an opening. There's something that's been closed off to you, and you're wishing for just a little tiny opening. It doesn't have to be a whole door. It could just be one little pane in the window. You just want a little opening. But I feel like you're not really getting it. Barrier. Whoa, no, Spirit's very clear here. No, there's a barrier. You can't go through that opening. There's no opening here. There's no opening. I don't know what this is for. The High Priestess, Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Chiron. You're looking for an opening to heal yourself, but it feels like vis-a-vis another person's actions or words or something they do or say, that will be your opening to get the answers you need. But Spirit's saying there's a barrier there because that is not the opening. The real opening is working with your shadow or paying attention to what your shadow is showing you as signs and synchronicities, what your shadow has to tell you, and how far you want to go down a certain road. I keep getting. Okay, the Nine of Wands for your advice. This is resilience, but it can also be exhaustion. Looks more like resilience in this card. Let's see. Guidance. Nine of Wands. He's breaking this stick here. Indoctrinated. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, not all of you, but this is part of what you're trying to do, is break some indoctrination that other people have fallen victim to, whether that's indoctrination from their family, their friends, maybe from their shadow, or out in the world indoctrination. You're trying to break that. But what you really need to do is break your own indoctrination, which, according to what I'm seeing here, is that you are responsible for other people's healing, other people's solutions, other people's karma. That's been indoctrinated into you in the past with all these undertakings. And people taking advantage of your alchemical capacity. Can I get one more for the guidance? I don't like the way these feel. The Four of Wands, Judgment, and the Two of Cups. Some of you are really hoping to, this isn't again for all of you, but there's something that's broken down that you want to come back to you. It doesn't feel good in my hands, though. There's something about it that doesn't feel good. Look at the details of it. Okay, Two of Cups, Four of Wands, and Judgment. There's an awakening Spirit's calling you to have around certain connections and partnerships where there's been a level of indoctrination. As somebody has elected you as the one to defend, as the one to be on the front lines, even between the two of you, you know, like if this is a relationship and you're the one who's supposed to be on the front lines. Strength, yes, yes. Or even in a workplace, somebody has tried to or has convinced you that that's your role, but Spirit's saying it's not. No. Okay, the outcome. I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper. We're going to see what else Spirit has to say about all of this. Tends to get more specific because there's less of you there. If you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. If you don't like that idea, if you're not interested, then trust that Spirit already knew that and gave you everything you needed right here. The outcome is the Lovers. Look at this picture. It's so interesting. Who are you in this picture? Is it the one you want to be? Let's see. The Lovers. This represents a choice to gain more knowledge. A choice that has, making a choice that you know has consequences, for good or for bad. This can also be a connection or a contract. So let's see what's going on. The Tower. This is so interesting. So here they're blue and red, and then in the Tower card, this person's a combination. See, this is like taking on other people's energy or karmas or paths, intertwining with them so much so that they become a part of you and you become a part of them, and then the fall is not really your own, but you experience it. This is the danger of the savior complex. One of them, anyway. So let's see. Now, it could be the case that you're watching someone you care for deeply go through something, and you're willing to hold their hand and be there through it with them. And you can be, again, you can light the torch, lead the way, but there's a certain pivot point where you need to stand back, Okay, let's see. What is this in the outcome? Mother Bear and preserve. For some of you, this is a little bit of a mother wound as well, okay? Maybe you were the savior for your mother. You were the protector. And if you don't save this person or this situation, maybe it reminds you, or there's a fear that comes up that you weren't able to save someone else, a parental figure. And it's just coming through with these cards. But for others of you who that's not the case, and we can have great relationships with our parents and these things can still occur. Okay? Sometimes they're not so obvious, sometimes they are. Well, you're trying to protect yourself. You are trying to protect yourself from a tower moment. You're trying to protect others, but you're trying to protect yourself. And I feel like Spirit is saying, what is Spirit saying here? Difficulties and resilience. Oh yeah, look, didn't I say this? I swear I said this. It's like things are broken down and you can put them back together. You can fix them. Difficulties. This is like a pattern that you have, And it's a good one. It's a skill. It's a good one to have. Like when there's difficulties and things are broken down, your resilience can help put them back together. But there's something more that needs to be said here, because there's a warning clearly in here. So what is it that I'm not saying that I need to say? Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups. Return. Yeah, okay, so remember I said the Knight of Cups is represented that something that came towards you, and you responded as the Queen of Cups. You dove deep. Then it turned out being an Eight of Cups situation. The Two of Pentacles is like if you try to preserve something and put it back together after it's come crashing down with the Tower, you're returning back into this infinity loop, this karmic cycle with the same energy that you've already walked away from. Now, it doesn't have to be the same person or the same job or whatever. It could be just the same energy manifesting in a new situation. Do you know what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to leave it there and go into the extended. I hope this reading helped you. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.